you're too handsy.
Hello there. This is intended to be a complete guide for how to learn any Alan Gogoll song you want just from watching one of his YouTube videos. This is going to be pretty comprehensive, so I split the video up into a few different parts. First, we'll cover the tuning, then we'll cover some general tips and tricks, then the bell's harmonic technique, and then finally percussion. So far, all of Alan's songs I've encountered use the same tuning. E, A, C sharp, E, B, and E. However, it's not quite as simple as that. In the vast majority of Alan's videos, every single string is tuned 40 cents sharp. And a quick side note here. We're going to be getting into the weeds on some of this tuning stuff, and if that all sounds a bit too much for you at the moment, I do have tutorials for Alan's songs up on my YouTube channel that do use standard intervals. So all you need to do is change to that E, A, C sharp, E, B, E tuning, and you're good to go. Alright, some quick music theory for you. A cent is a unit of measurement used to define the distance between one note and another note. In the same way that a meter is made up of 100 centimeters, a semitone, meaning the distance from one note on the fretboard to the next highest note, say my G to my G sharp, is 100 cents. This is also sometimes referred to as a semitone or a half step. A full step would be G to A, or 200 cents. So I have 100 cents, 200 cents, 300 cents, and so on. Here's the rub. Alan's tuning for most of his songs is about 40 cents sharp on every single string. And most tuners that you're likely to encounter aren't set up to get you into that interval easily. So you have to find a few workarounds. Here's some of the best that I know. The first and the simplest method that I know is to just use an app like Guitar Tuna. It displays the cents in 10-cent intervals and can let you get to this tuning really easily. Let's take the high E string, for example. In the display in the app, it will show me just when I get to 40 cents. Super easy, super simple. You can download it in a couple minutes. But if an app just isn't your style, or you're one of the lucky individuals who does not own a smartphone, here's another way you can do it with a standard tuner. You want to start by examining your tuner up close. Find the center, or where it would normally display your guitar as being in tune, and then count how many notches are to the left of that. In the case of this tuner, it's 7. Knowing that one side of the dial represents 50 cents, you can divide 50 by the number of intervals to get the number of cents that each interval signifies, and then multiply that value to get as close to 40 as you can. Or you can just eyeball it. You should get close enough. Learning a piece of music as complex as the ones Alan writes just from a YouTube video can be pretty tricky, but here's a few things that can help. First, and fairly obvious, is just to slow down the video. The YouTube video player allows you to slow down a video to as much as 1/4 the speed. Another nice feature is that the rewind button adjusts as well, so when you want to rewind 5 seconds, you don't actually end up having to watch 20 seconds of slowed down footage. The second tip is just to find as big a screen as you possibly can. Have a laptop, try plugging it into an external monitor. Only have a phone, cast it to the living room TV. Once you've got your video slowed down and on a big enough screen, you might start to notice that the fingers don't always synchronize with the notes being played. In short, this is due to the difference between the speed of sound and the speed of light. The speed of light is so fast that we perceive it pretty much instantaneously. And the speed of sound, while still fast, is slower. And there's a slight delay between the creation of the sound and the time it reaches our ears. Our brains have evolved to adapt for that discrepancy, and so we actually expect the sound to come a little bit later. When syncing the sound on a video, a good rule of thumb is to err on the side of the sound being too late rather than too early. This is because our brains are less likely to notice a delayed sound. So when a fast song, like Mulberry Mouse, is slowed way down, you'll likely notice that the finger movements don't align with the notes. A good way around this is to take a screen recording of the video and import it into your editing software of choice. Depending on the software you use, this may also allow you to slow down the video even more than the hard limit of 1/4 speed set by YouTube. Bell's Harmonics, and I'm quoting from Alan's website here, is a two-handed simultaneous artificial harmonics technique that the man himself actually invented. If that didn't make all that much sense to you, let me demonstrate. So when most people first learn to play harmonics, they learn to do so by hovering a finger of their left hand over the 12th, 7th, or 5th frets of the guitar and plucking a note with their right. For most people, that's all well and good, but not for Alan Gogoll. His technique relies on the ability for both hands to make their own harmonics. In the case of the right hand, this relies on the middle finger inducing the harmonic and the ring finger plucking it. This can also be done on the right hand with the use of the forefinger and the thumb. Now for the left hand. The most common way you'll see Alan do this is with the ring finger to induce the harmonic and the forefinger to pluck it. Another way you'll see him do this in some of the arpeggios he does is with the use of the middle finger to induce the harmonic. Either works. So the Bell's Harmonics technique is a combination of both hands playing harmonics at the same time. This one takes a lot of time and practice. Be patient with yourself. One of the things that makes Alan's music so difficult to play is his use of percussion. If this is something you haven't experimented with much, here are a few tips that should help. First, it helps to get really comfortable with the melody before you introduce the percussion. Let's return to the example of Mulberry Mouse, which is the song that I'm currently trying to learn. When you first add the percussion, everything is going to feel significantly harder. The better prepared you can be for this, the easier time you'll have. When you start, you want to slow things way down. I'd recommend 1/4 speed, just like when you were learning the notes. Be careful at this stage to get your timing and technique down before you speed up. Here's an example of me from just a few weeks back. I'm learning Mulberry Mouse, and I just about have the melody down. Here you can see me start to slowly introduce the percussion, making sure my timing is right. And cut to just 10 minutes after, when I'm up to full speed, albeit playing a little bit sloppily. Finally, once you've got the rhythm down, pay really close attention to what kind of percussion the song requires. Are the strings being slapped to produce a snare drum sound? Is the body of the guitar being struck to produce a kick drum sound? These things can be subtle, so make sure to check in with the original video to make sure you've got it right. That's pretty much all you need to know to learn an Alan Gogoll song. However, doing it on your own can still be tricky. If you'd like to speed things up a bit, I do have 2 tutorials up on my YouTube channel, both in standard interval tuning, and more coming soon. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. Anyways, thanks for watching, and good luck.